stage is set for the major semi-final between South Sydney and Manly Warringah at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Perfect conditions. A cloudless blue sky, breeze blowing from the southwesterly quarter, which will be favouring the South Sydney side on your screen at the moment during this first half. And South Sydney will be running from right to left. They'll be attacking the Paddington end of the ground. The side is as per program: Sims, James, Lyle, Brannigan, Honan, Pittard, Jones, Coote, Sate, Moses, Sattler, Walters and Morgan. And a good-looking side and a fast side they are. They've got pace to burn throughout the team. And the magnificent kicking boot of Eric Sims in the fullback position to finish off any tries that they score. Will he take advantage of the penalties, and also his field-going capabilities are now bywords in rugby league. The Manly Warringah side, not to be sold short, led the competition for quite a while this year, hit a little slump, but they've come back into form the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they are, as per program, Batty, fullback, McQueen and Hannigan the wings, Tennant and Stanton the centres, Fulton and Ward, Bradstreet, Morgan, Day, Pounder, Jones and Hamilton constitute the front row, constitute the forwards. Manly running from left to right in the white shorts and striped uniforms. South Sydney in the dark shorts from right to left. A huge crowd here, must be well over 50,000 people. I wouldn't hazard a guess at the exact number. Referee Mr. Cole Pearce, the captains, Bob Fulton for Manly and John Sattler for the South Sydney side. Possession straight away into Manly's hands from the kick-off as Bradstreet picks the ball up from dummy half and tries to bulldoze his way to his 25. Out to Hamilton. Hamilton straight on then to Pounder, running into a wall of South Sydney players. Pounder only a lightweight forward. And here's the kick through by Manly with Morgan tearing upfield. It's taken nicely by Honan there, who's tackled straight away and smashed to the ground. Heavy tackling in the early seconds of this game. Jones then out to Coote, standing wide. Coote comes in for a strong tackle but still making progress as Bradstreet goes high and Freddie Jones went low. Walters out to Sattler. Sattler gets it away to Morgan. Morgan looking for the inside pass, got it through, and Jones is intercepted for Manly. Caught straight away, but possession changing hands once again. The crowd seething and buzzing with excitement. Fulton's kick through, taken then by James. James takes play right across field and kicks, runs into a Manly player, and a good kick beats Hannigan into touch. 15 yards short of the Manly 25. Well, this game has started at a cracking pace, with both sides indicating early on that they are going to be absolutely no question of slackening in the defence. Their first tackle there of Honan was a vicious tackle. First scrum of the match. Ball to be fed by Dennis Ward. It's a penalty straight away. Let's see what it's for. It's against Jones for striking incorrectly for the ball. Referee Cole Pearce walks back in field to the 10-yard line, so it's a penalty which will be taken by Eric Sims from 11 yards out from the 25, the Manly 25, and 10 yards in from the sideline. Well within Eric Sims' kicking range. The magnificent boot of Eric Sims has taken him to second place in the Rugby League point score this year with 184 points from 92 goals. Add to that the 50 goals he kicked in the World Cup Series, the 50 points rather, and you have a huge total. Moving in. And fails with the first attempt, so the scores remain 0-0 was Batty. The Manly fullback takes play 20 yards out from Manly's line. Stanton, away to Hamilton. Play still on the Manly 25. Jones today. Running hard and straight, some solid defence there. I think there's going to be a penalty against Morgan. Morgan, big Jim Morgan, the South Sydney forward being called back. Let's see Cole Pearce's signal. There it is, stiff arm. Straight away, penalty to the Manly Warringah side. There's going to be some heavy, high tackling in this game. Both sides realising that a win today puts them 50% along the way to a grand final win. A poor kick from Batty, fails to make any progress into the breeze. Out to Hamilton. Hamilton gets it nicely then on to number 11, Norm Pounder. Jones fires it away to Morgan. Morgan running well and strongly. Gets to the halfway line before being put down. Mr. Pearce right beside the play the balls. On to Ward. Ward kicks high. Honan standing over there. It's in it. The sun's in their eyes and it's been taken beautifully by Freddie Jones, the Manly World Cup hooker. Manly on the move now. Fulton does a little kick through, a lot of kicking. Fulton chasing, it's got the bounce! Oh, and he's lost the ball about 2 yards from the line. Oh my word, that was a close thing. Got a superb bounce then, and as he fell, as he came inside Eric Sims' tackle, he tried to get a pass away and dropped the ball. Well, Manly not afraid to kick early, but the South Sydney defence looking particularly good. Scrum 5 yards out from South Sydney's line. It's a Manly ball. Out to Fulton. Fulton tries his luck on his own. He's swamped without making any forward progress. Ward to dummy half. Ward going on his own from dummy half. Makes no gain at all. Gets it to Jones. Jones out to Morgan. Morgan tries for the long pass out to Bradstreet. Bradstreet sights the opening. Gets a bad pass away. Going to be fielded by Hannigan. Hannigan picks up the ball, but Manly have lost 30 yards from that one bad pass. Fourth tackle coming up. Batty tries for the big kick, and it's a huge one. It's going to go too far. Taken nicely by Sims, who runs over his dead ball line, and play restarts from the goal line. Well, Manly are indicating early on that they're going to keep this ball up in the air to the South Sydney side, running into the breeze as they are. They've got the advantage that the ball will hang in the air, take a while to come down. There's a long drop kick from Eric Sims. It's gone on the full 60 yards and back to Manly's 25, just short of a 75-yard kick. Batty throws the dummy, got the pass away to Pounder, who did well to get back there and back up. Makes a good burst up the middle. Play in the South Sydney half to Morgan, back to Jones. Jones running straight ahead, looking for support, couldn't get an inside pass. Freddie Jones running very freely today in the hooking position for Manly. Ward, the little kick through once again to test Sims. It's a bad bounce for Sims, but he manages to get to it. Ward comes to him, takes him nicely around the ankles, and Sims being put under a lot of pressure in the early part of this game. Out to Moses, Moses to Brannigan, Brannigan up the sideline as a left foot centre kick. Batty's positioned well, takes it on the full, runs into Brannigan, Brannigan smashes him to the ground. He's lost the ball and Moses has fallen on it for South Sydney. Play in Manly side of halfway. Morgan now, Jim Morgan, taken and heavily smashed to the ground. Kicking out in the tackle too, trying to free his legs as Ken Day was the tackler. Jones to Pittard. Oh my word, this game building up into something tremendous. The way they've started, the pace couldn't possibly be sustained. Back to Sims. Sims tries for a kick through, deep. Goes to Hannigan, takes it well. The crowd loudly applaud because Hannigan's handling on occasions can be a little bit suspect with the ball in the air. Once again, Pounder, the first Manly forward, back to the ruck. And here's a caution to Sattler. Let's watch the referee's arm, and there it is, indicating another stiff arm. Cole Pearce awards the penalty to Manly, 10 yards outside their 25.
Mr. Len Freeman of Gladesville, you are required to go to the rental state. Mr. Len Freeman of Gladesville, you are required at the rental
Manly on the attack now with Jones. On to Hamilton. Hamilton booming straight ahead. Huge player, this fellow. Around 16 stone. Jones. On to Ken Day. Running sideways a little bit, but now starting to straighten and gets to the South Sydney 25, getting themselves into position for a drop at goal. And it's a penalty against South Sydney. Mr. Pearce catching Pittard, Brannigan and James, all in offside position. Batty being called up to take the kick. Well, if this were Eric Sims kicking this goal, I'd be extremely confident that the goal will be kicked. Batty is a up and down sort of a goal kicker. He's scored already this season for the Manly Warringah side 60 goals, 2 tries, 126 points, but he can have bad days. This is not one of them. As the first extras have been added, a Manly go to a 2-0 lead. The previous clashes between these two sides earlier this year, in the first round Manly was successful 25-15, and in the second round a good shellacking was handed out by the South Sydney side to Manly 20-4. So they've split the honours, with South Sydney possibly having the advantage of the second round win. Fresher in Manly's memory. Ball back to Batty. Batty being pushed backwards. Loses ground. Strong defence from South Sydney. Morgan running straight and hard. Loses the ball. It's in South Sydney's possession. Morgan fires it away to Coote. Coote gets it out then nicely to Lyle. Lyle's going strongly, skirting the edge of the defence, but the cover comes over quickly in the shape of Fulton and picks him up. James going up the blind side, trying to catch the Manly defence by surprise. Pittard. Coote. Walters. Moses taken well. Fourth tackle. Let's see if they use Sims for a drop at goal. Dennis Ward being used as an extra dummy half by Manly. Morgan comes through quickly, and it's a penalty as Manly now are offside, and this one's a gift. It's only 10 yards out from the line. We've got a line umpire in. One of the Manly players being called out for a caution is Johnny Morgan. Let's see what the particular offence was, whether the referee will indicate it with an arm action. Sattler, the South Sydney skipper, standing on the right, number 11. Morgan for Manly Warringah, number 9 on the left. Cole Pearce, the referee, talking to both of them. Penalty had already been awarded, so this will give Eric Sims the opportunity to equalise the score. Manly were quite definitely offside then. They were so anxious to obviate the kick at goal from Eric Sims that they infringed rather badly. However, it's interesting to note that Dennis Ward raced into the dummy half position for Manly on that occasion. Obviously they're going to use his speed, and there's the kick. 2-2. Penalty goal from Eric Sims. They're going to use Dennis Ward's speed, Manly, to try to harass any kickers on the fourth tackle. Back to the halfway line. A wonderful picture here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The crowd, a colourful one, as the bright sunshine has attracted rather summery gear. Sir Eric Sims takes that one well over his shoulders, kicks back deep. It's a towering kick too. Batty moves in. All the South Sydney players around him are offside, of course. They can't move in until he's run 5 yards. Now Batty kicks, and it's an equally big kick from Batty into the breeze. Bounces badly for Sims. Sims caught in possession by Johnny Morgan, 8 yards from his goal line. Morgan comes across with a diving tackle, misses Pittard. The pass goes back inside to Moses, backing up well, and South Sydney 35 yards now out from their goal line. Jones Lyle playing without a number to Brannigan. Brannigan can't evade the tackle there as Tennant moved in quickly. Sims now with a kick. Bit of an altercation between Day and Moses, but Hannigan took that one well, evades Honan's tackle, goes up the sideline, finally pushed into touch 11 yards inside the South Sydney half. I noticed that Day and Moses were having a chop at each other then after Sims had kicked the ball. A little bit of niggle starting to develop in the game. Penalty to Manly against the South Sydney pack for moving off the mark. Well, this one's about 12 yards inside South Sydney's half and 10 yards in from the sideline. Batty will attempt this one into the breeze. No, he's going to kick for touch. They restart play back on the 25. South Sydney's 25 with Day throwing the dummy, had Pounder beside him, but Pounder didn't get the ball. Jones on a Day. Day back inside to Morgan. Morgan comes to the defence and gets bowled over. Plays the ball rather badly. Back to Ward. Ward's gone for a drop. And it's successful, so Manly have hit the front again. 4-2, and the value of a drop goaler in this game of rugby league under the 4 tackle rule has been evidenced already. What a strong breeze favouring South Sydney in this second half. In this first half, I'm sorry. Ball rebounds to Fulton. Fulton trying to run his way through Pittard's tackle, but Pittard, aided by Walters, put him to the ground. Jones. Ward. Manly backs moving the ball well with some of the forwards standing out. Morgan flicks back inside to Hamilton. Back to Morgan. Morgan sets himself to run, goes 10 yards strongly, loses the ball. No, got to pass away. Manly going across field now. Stanton gets it to Fulton, and Fulton careering upfield. South Sydney defence, admirable. Jones switches the play across the ruck out to Hamilton. Hamilton out to Bradstreet. Bradstreet then to Day to Hannigan. Hannigan's going beautifully. Got a pass back inside to Hamilton. And Hamilton's in for the try. A superb bit of football by Manly to continue play along from 35 yards out. Ending up with Big Bill Hamilton, number 13, the Manly prop forward, going in for the try. That makes the score 7-2 in Manly's favour, and a beautiful try. Batty now from about 20 yards out from South line and 13 yards in from the sideline. Into the breeze, kicks. It's unsuccessful. And that's a let-off. It was an easy enough kick. 7-2, the score remains in South Sydney's favour. In Manly Warringah's favour, I'm sorry. Manly receiving the ball, taken by Morgan. Morgan loses the ball. Bit conscious then of having to battle his way through the South Sydney pack the way he took the ball, and didn't pay enough attention to keeping a firm hold of it. It's a Manly ball. Ward runs the over, it's gone through and just caught from behind by number 9 in the South Sydney lineup, Paul Sate. Jones fires it out to Hamilton. Pierce waving South Sydney back on side. Out to Jones. Jones to Bradstreet. Throws the dummy. Halfway through, caught by one leg. Fulton trying his kicking tactics. It's a high kick. Sims takes it, drops it on his 25. Got it away to James. James up the sideline now. Goes through Ward's tackle, caught from behind. As he got his pass back inside. To a South Sydney support. Number 8, Ron Coote on the halfway line. That was a little lapse in defence by Manly there. Sate running crossfield. Got the pass away to Lyle, who drops it. It's picked up by Hannigan. You can put the glasses down. This is a try. Hannigan's picked up the loose ball and scooted away to score a superb individual try. There's no player in rugby league can give Les Hannigan 10 yards start and catch him, and there's certainly no player in this South Sydney side that can do it. So South Sydney go a little further behind. 10-2 Manly lead after good individual work by Les Hannigan. Well, that lapse came about in a fashion that we don't often see. Jimmy Lyle was the South Sydney player responsible for dropping the ball on that occasion. Normally a very sound handler, but under the stress of semi-final football, many great players made mistakes, and Lyle put the ball down there. Reasonable pass came to him, and Hannigan, who I've seen score 2 tries similar to that this year, was able to race in, pick it up and run the required distance. No real danger of the try not being scored from the moment he caught the ball, and that takes Les Hannigan on to 14 tries for the year. So he's the second leading try scorer in the rugby league behind Stan Gorton from St George on 22. Batty's kick is unsuccessful. Scores remain 10-2 in Manly's favour. Pittard this time to kick off for South Sydney. Taken by Batty. Batty electing to run. Can't get round Pittard, who drives him back. He's tackled 5 yards inside his 25. Jones to dummy half. Jones lives in that position for the Manly side. Morgan fires a nice one to Bradstreet. Bradstreet to Tennant. Tennant to Hannigan. Hannigan's come back in field. Gets a loose pass inside to Ward. Ward gets the pass away then to Pounder, who's tackled on the halfway line. Manly are playing enterprising football. They're moving it quickly. Out to Fulton. Fulton out to Stanton. Stanton can't get past Moses, who puts him to the ground on the halfway line. To Fulton. Fulton now kicks through. Straight to Sims on the bounce. Sims gets caught by Pounder as he kicks it, and legitimate tackle, but it's up to Batty now on his 25. Ringed around by South Sydney players. He's kicked, and it's a bad kick out on the full. They're the sort of errors that can't be tolerated in semi-final football. A fullback merely has to drive the ball deep, straight upfield. He doesn't have to kick for the sideline. Scrum on the Manly 25. Haven't seen much of South Sydney's three-quarter line after 22 minutes. Coote running the blind side. Swamped by Manly Warringah defenders. Moses running well, letting him run. They've got through the opening, got the pass away. There's a loose pass by Jones. It's picked up by McLean, the Manly winger, and there's a gift gone to South Sydney. They had the opportunity then to score. Jones threw the ball away wildly as he was tackled. They've kept possession there. They were in a strong position. Oh, a bad pass from Fulton out to Tennant. It's loose on the ground, picked up by Honan. Bouncing around, out to Lyle, and twice South Sydney have lost opportunities to score. Honan tackled only about 5 yards out from the line. South Sydney a bit sloppy in their work at the moment as Moses It's put down on the fourth tackle. Let's see if Manly can stop the drop at goal. It's back to Sims. Sims kicks. It went off a Manly player. The kick at goal was unsuccessful. It went off a Manly player, and play will restart from the Manly goal line. We've got Ivan Jones down, injured at the moment, and for the South Sydney side, and the scores are 10-2 in Manly's favour. Ivan Jones being assisted from the field. This is a bad blow for the South Sydney side, being assisted by an ambulance man and his skipper, John Sattler. The referee will call for play to proceed now. There's also another Manly player, Pounder, receiving attention for Manly, but he's been taken behind the dead ball line. So both teams are man short at the moment. Pittard in possession for South Sydney. Slammed to the ground by Freddie Jones. Play in Manly's 25. Walters running from dummy half. It's a bad pass away. It's fallen on by Manly. Picked up by Dennis Ward. Ward can't evade one tackle. Gets a pass back inside, which is well taken by Day. Day got it away then to Hamilton. Hamilton out of Fulton. Fulton comes in for a heavy tackle there, as Moses, standing wide for South Sydney, put him down. Stanton out to Tennant. Tennant got it to Hannigan. Hannigan slips as he comes back in field, but a little bit of heavy work once again in the tackle. Hamilton for Manly, coming straight, and Jones is leaving the field of play. Going from the arena. Here's Morgan following a kick through by a Manly player to ring Sims around so that he can't run. It's a long kick back to Batty. Batty takes it beautifully, and Batty is likewise ringed around, but he got the pass away to Pounder. Pounder running with a tape over his mouth now by the look of it. Oh, and came in for a heavy tackle there. He was the man that was injured for the Manly side and being treated in the in-goal area. Out to Hamilton. Hamilton gets it passed back inside to Day. It appears that Norgard's come on for the... Greg Norgard has come on to replace Ivan Jones in the South Sydney side. So there'll be two number 6s playing for South Sydney during this half, and Jimmy Lyle is playing without a number. The fourth tackle, that he kicks high. Morgan running upfield. This is a tactic that Manly have worked out. Morgan, Jones, Tennant, all up there to stop Sims running. Ball kick back to Batty. Batty's got Sattler there. Gets the pass away to Hannigan. Hannigan can't get round his man. Gets the pass back to Batty. Batty steps and comes inside one defender. Got it to Fulton. Fulton going upfield. Oh, a loose pass has been intercepted by Sattler. Sattler got it away to Pittard. Pittard to Moses. Moses smashed to the ground, but there's offside play being called. An offside pass was thrown, and there's an melee going on here as several players, Manly players, with Bobby Moses. Moses been a man that's been involved in a couple of little fracases already in this game. Tempers becoming frayed. Morgan and Moses, the two men, being singled out for caution, as we've got another player down injured in the background. I'll just get the injured player for you. It's Kenny Day who's receiving attention to the injury at the moment. I don't know that it's a serious one. He hasn't sat fully down. 10-2 in Manly's favour. No, Day's going to get to his feet fairly smartly, I feel. Yes, Day's on his feet and flexing his right knee, but he's okay. Now we've got Pounder sitting down, receiving attention over in the background once again. It looks vaguely like the Battle of Waterloo with a number of players that have been sitting down. 10-2 still in Manly's favour. And now Pounder's on his feet. Ambulance man leaves the field of play. And I feel that Cole Pearce is going to have his work cut out controlling these players. There's a lot of niggle starting to come into the game. Now, one of the South Sydney men has changed jerseys. That's Greg Norgard, and he's now playing in number 21.
Greg Norgard, the replacement for Ivan Jones, now playing in number 21. Number 21, Greg Norgard for South.
Manly restarting play. Have got play back into the 25. Morgan straight on the burst, running straight and hard. A good gain. Playing with a lot of enthusiasm, Morgan. It's a penalty against South Sydney for infringing the 5 yards in the ruck. Loud roar from the Manly supporters. Proclaim the pleasure with which they received that penalty. And Batty comes up from the fullback position to take the kick. 37 yards out from the South Sydney goal line, directly in the middle of the field of play. And Bill Kerr, how many attempts at goal has Batty had?
This is his 4th attempt, Rex.
4th attempt for 2 success, no, for 1 success.
1 goal.
There's been 1 field goal kicked. And how are the scrums and penalties at this stage of the match?
Well, of the 3 scrums decided to date, Manly has won 2 and South Sydney 1. The penalties favour Manly also by 6-2.
Batty's kick is successful, so the scores goes a little further away. Manly 12, South Sydney 2. Pittard kicks off for South Sydney. He goes straight to Billy Bradstreet. Bradstreet got support, throws the dummy and goes on his own. Jones out to Morgan. Morgan running straight and hard. Comes to heavy work. Here's Moses once again. A little bit of an altercation between Morgan and Moses. These two have had a problem ever since the game started. Bradstreet took the in-pass then from Day. The ball's reefed out of his hands and it's a penalty against Morgan, Jim Morgan, the South Sydney prop for so doing. A penalty to Manly. Hannigan restarts play with a tap out to Jones. Jones away to Hamilton. Hamilton runs into a wall of defenders. It takes 3 South Sydney men to put him down. He gets quickly to his feet, plays it back to Fulton. Fulton tries to the kick through. It's not a good kick. It goes straight to James on the full. He's taken by Stanton round the legs. South Sydney in possession in their own 25. Coote running from dummy half has broken the defence, got the pass away to Walters. Walters up the sideline has broken one tackle and taken by Stanton from behind. Good football from South Sydney. Manly have been twice vulnerable on the blind side. Out to Norgard. Norgard to Brannigan. Brannigan caught by the jersey but breaks the tackle. Morgan, Day comes at him. Lyle can't get a pass away as he's put to the ground by Hannigan. Play only 10 yards outside Manly's 25. Pittard out to Norgard. Norgard across to Coote. Coote to James. McLean takes him well. This young 19-year-old wing three-quarter playing in his first semi-final for Manly. He's a big boy, but must be a big moment for him today. Marking a seasoned international in Brian Jones. Fred Jones can't get his head into the scrum for Manly. Referee Mr. Pearce waving them back in field. Penalty against Dennis Ward for incorrectly feeding the ball. Gives Eric Sims the opportunity from 35 yards out and 10 yards in from the sideline to peg back this Manly lead of 12-2, which is a good lead. 9 minutes to go to half-time. Sims always moves back and sights along the ball before first setting himself to kick the ball. The wind directly behind him. It's a superb kick, as if it had been drawn by a line over the goalpost, went straight over the black dot, so the score's 12-4 in Manly's favour. Manly in the white shorts, kicking off now to South Sydney in the dark shorts. It's noticeable to me, watching the game from a pretty high position here at the cricket ground, that twice Manly have been vulnerable on the blind side. It's something they'll have to watch. 2 long breaks have been made up the blind side. Honan coming across field, beautiful footballer with his footwork, got a long one-handed pass away to Brannigan. Brannigan gets it away to James. James up the sideline, comes inside Stanton, can't get inside. Jones is put to the ground. Norgard to dummy half, away to Lyle, out to Coote. Sate steps his way through one tackle, but Day comes at him and puts him hard to the ground, 8 yards from the halfway line. Pittard, Norgard drops the ball. Manly could get possession. Fulton picks it up, switches it to Tennant. Tennant, a noted strong man, barged his way a few yards ahead. Out to Hamilton. Hamilton out to Bradstreet. Bradstreet got a nice pass away to Day. Day going well. 3 yards from the South Sydney 25. Bradstreet, Hamilton, Ward through the dummy. Manly still in possession, midfield. Let's see whether they go for a drop at goal here. It's back to Bobby Fulton. Fulton drops. It's away to the right. The ball doesn't go over the dead ball line. Oh, stayed in the field of play. And Eric Sims was waiting. Oh, let's see what the referees rule. They got a 25 dropout. Sims was waiting there for the ball to go over the dead ball line. Norm Pounder, meanwhile, was coming on quickly for Manly, and he very nearly caught Sims in possession. And there's a penalty, quite rightly, to Manly. There's Jim Morgan, it's Bob Moses, the South Sydney second rower, ran behind Jim Morgan, one of his teammates, and the referee had no option but to rule that shepherding had taken place. Betty now from almost a identical position to the one he kicked a few moments ago. A little shorter, about the same angle. At 28 yards, 15 yards in from the sideline, into the breeze. Another goal just before half-time would make the Manly score a pretty formidable tally to overhaul. Batty's kick is successful. 14 points to 4, a 10-point clear lead with 5 minutes remaining to half-time. Pittard kicks off for South Sydney. A grubber type kick, bounces over everybody's head, goes through Day's hands, taken by Batty. Batty 20 yards out from his line is put down. Bradstreet to dummy half. Got it away to Jones. Jones to Hamilton, the man who in the Manly side is used so frequently as a battering ram. His size, he's a big man. Jones got the pass away to Morgan. Morgan got a loose one away to Tennant, who had to reach quite a deal forward to get to it. On the 25, the fourth tackle coming up, back to Fulton. Fulton elects to run. Got the pass away to Ward. Ward got it to Jones. Jones, a beautiful quick pass to Pounder. Pounder out to McLean. McLean runs straight into James on the fourth tackle. First time young McLean has touched the ball. And I believe Batty's down injured at the moment, and Alec Tennant is down doing his boot up. The scores favour Manly, 14-4. Well, Batty's okay. The scrum restarts play. 5 yards inside Manly's half. Pittard now playing halfback for South Sydney in place of Ivan Jones, and Norgard, the replacement, has moved to Pittard's position. It's a South Sydney ball. Pittard to Norgard, back to Pittard, a conventional run-around move, but the Manly defence quick to sight that one. Sate out to Moses. Moses comes in for a head-high tackle, loses the ball midfield. The referee rules that Manly knocked on and attempting to pick it up. And that's the hard part of the ground just there. Midway between the Manly 25 and halfway. Ward to feed the ball for Manly. Oh, and this scrum's erupting here. There's a few punches being thrown in there, I feel. Jones has received a clout on the face. Somebody in the South Sydney side has thrown a punch. It was quite obvious watching it. Jones down, receiving attention now. There's a very old ploy in rugby league of the hooker being a defenceless man, being occasionally vulnerable. I remember a test match that Ian Walsh in England was hit very hard by one of the English second row, and perhaps that's what occurred on that occasion. South Sydney ball, well heeled. Norgard flicks it back inside to Sims. Sims tackled, and once again shepherding. Penalty to Manly Warringah as South Sydney players rather persisting in running behind their defenders, their own men, and shepherding the defenders away from tackling them. Batty kicks high. Into the breeze, not a big gain. Hannigan restarts play 10 yards inside South's half. Jones, Hamilton throws the dummy. Jones, Day. Manly slowly working the play back upfield. Hamilton caught on the fourth tackle. Let's see, Fulton and Ward are both in position. Back to Ward. Ward tries a snap at goal. It's gone high in the air. Oh, and it dropped a foot short. The ball lying close to South Sydney's line. Sims is caught by Bradstreet. It's a penalty quite rightly against Bradstreet for a... No. Let's see what the decision is here. It's a penalty to South Sydney. Bradstreet, as I was about to say, was offside. He was in front of the kicker. I think John Sattler, the South Sydney skipper, sustained a heavy knock in the last exchange on the South Sydney 25. He's been walking around a bit of a daze, but he's persisting. Coote does well to pick that one up. Walters onto Sattler. Sattler got the pass away then to Pittard. Fourth tackle coming up. I noticed both the Manly wings are standing quite deep, waiting for the kick. Morgan was in an offside then, but the referee's allowing play to proceed, but the kick went out on the full, so the scrum will restart play from where Jim Morgan kicked it. But Johnny Morgan, the Manly second rower, appeared to be quite a deal offside. The half-time hooter gone as Honan comes in to make the extra man. He's caught, so is Lyle. Lyle's caught. Brannigan got the pass now, breaks one tackle, got the pass away then to support, who's tackled 8 yards short of the halfway line. And at the halfway mark, the crowd give a rousing round of applause to both sets of players, because there's been some fine football, spirited football. Manly side running from the field, South Sydney taking it in a more leisurely fashion. Manly at the half-time mark are leading 14 points to 4. Their points have come from a fine team try to Bill Hamilton, the big prop forward on the Manly side, who has been a reasonably consistent try scorer for the Manly side this year. I think he scored about 5 tries, and 3 penalty goals to Bob Batty, a try, an individual effort to Les Hannigan, and a field goal to Dennis Ward. For the South Sydney side, their points have come from 2 penalty goals to Eric Sims. At half-time, Manly 14, South Sydney 4. South Sydney side on the field now for the second half. They'll be running into the breeze, attacking the ram again to the ground. Manly coming on. The white shorts, and they're leading 14-4 at the half-time break. 40 minutes away from a result. Let's see if there are any changes in the sides. Ken Day had been limping rather badly for Manly, but Bill Kerr, can you see Ken Day out there?
No, he hasn't arrived on the scene as yet, Wicks.
Well, it appears that Motowali might be a late starter. I think the crowd, yes, here he comes now. He's got his right knee strapped. He was limping rather badly during the first half, the end of the first half, and he's just running into your picture now. Number 10, former Test player, a Queenslander, and a man that's given yeoman's service to the Manly side. Batty now to kick off for Manly. Manly leading 14-4. Batty's kick taken by Sims. Gets to the 25, breaks right through the middle. Oh, and a heavy tackle from Tennant has put Norgard down without any preamble. 8 yards from the halfway line, and he's hurt. No question about that. South Sydney on the move now with Morgan firing the pass out to Moses. Moses up the sideline, looks for the inside pass. It went to ground. Batty's picked it up for Manly. Coote's got Batty. Bradstreet's got the ball away. Hamilton in possession now for Manly, and play situated midway between Manly's 25 and the halfway line. Jones firing it back to Morgan. Morgan up the blind side on the 4th tackle. Let's see what Manly do with this breeze in the second half. To Hamilton. Hamilton kicks hard and deep. It looks a good one. Yes, it's gone into touch, only 11 yards from South Sydney's line. A fine left foot kick from Billy Hamilton. Front row forwards developing into kickers. Only half a minute or so of the first half gone. Manly attacking strongly and in a strong attacking position. Ball to be fed by Dennis Pittard. Manly ball, Fulton to Ward, back to Fulton, back to Bradstreet. Bradstreet got it to Tennant. Tennant bulldozing his way, and he's in for the try. A good run-around movement, a double around then, as I'll explain the move to you. As Manly won the ball, Ward gave it to Fulton. Fulton stopped the 5'8", pivoted, turned his back to the opposition. Both Ward and Bradstreet came around, took the ball. The ball was, Bradstreet took the ball, gave it to Tennant, and Tennant goes over for the try. Used great strength then, so Manly in a commanding position. 17-4 with a kick at goal by Batty to follow. A try in the first minute of the match of the second half. Batty moving in is successful. 19 points to 4. Manly Warringah lead South Sydney, and I must say that I'd find it very difficult to believe that South Sydney could come from a deficit like this. Batty driving the ball back deep. Sims on his 25, ready to field it. Morgan. Pounder. The ball badly bounced for Sims. He's ringed around by Manly players. Sims kicking into the breeze. Not a bad kick. Batty now likewise ringed around by... Oh, and a shocking pass from Batty back to Hannigan. Hannigan has to run round behind him to scoop it up. There was no necessity for Batty to throw that pass. Tennant putting his head down and charging ahead. Just outside the Manly Warringah 25. Stanton onto Fulton. Fulton elects to kick. It's a long one, floating with the breeze, taken nicely by Sims. Comes up to the halfway line. Fulton takes him head on and puts him down on the halfway line. Coote running from dummy half. A gain of 8 yards. Sattler. Back to Sate. Back slamming tackle from Freddie Jones of Norgard. 4th tackle, Pittard. Morgan, big front row, running well, got an overhead pass to Moses. Moses is tackled, not put down. Finally, 5 yards from Manly's 25. Moses, if he concentrated exclusively on football, would be a considerably better footballer for the south side. He's a little bit inclined to get involved in fisticuffs. He's a fine forward, formerly a centre 3/4, running very freely for South Sydney in the open. South Sydney ball. Norgard got the pass to Pittard. Pittard going beautifully. Still going. Tackled 10 yards from Manly Warringah's line. Taken by Stanton. Gets quickly to his feet. Plays it to Sate. Sate running from dummy half. He's been held up 3 yards from the line. Gets pushed back by Day. And finally back on the 10-yard line. Good work by Ken Day. Back to Sattler. Sattler across to Coote. Coote using that spring heel run of his. Oh, and he smashed to the ground as McLean came in to put him down. Lyle throws a long pass out to Norgard. Out to Brannigan. Brannigan gets a long pass out to James. James going up the sideline, but Hannigan takes him and puts him into touch. Well, the Manly defence, all that can be asked of at the moment. They're defending very well. Got 2 Manly players down injured at the moment. I'm sorry, that was Honan, not James, who made the run up the right flank for South Sydney. Jones is one of the Manly players down injured at the moment. I think Johnny Morgan was seeking ambulance attention, but Jones down at the moment. 19-4 in Manly's favour. Jones is on his feet. The scrum to restart play. South Sydney had that ball when it was under their second row's feet, and they've finally lost it. Ward running on the open side. Put it away to Morgan. Morgan to Hamilton, charging straight ahead. Had a good game for Manly today. The big Manly forwards are able to make a lot of progress up the middle. Bradstreet out to Day. Through one tackle. Back into Bradstreet. Bradstreet tackled 12 yards from the halfway line. Hannigan, the ball went between his legs. Kenny Day limping very noticeably now. Number 10, the Manly second rower. Penalty. South Sydney against Ward for feeding the ball crookedly into the scrum. Sims now will kick this one, or attempt to kick it, from 36 yards out and 10 yards in from the sideline. Oh, he's elected to kick the touch. South Sydney want tries, evidently, even after only 7 minutes of the second half. That would have been well within Sims' kicking range. Pittard. Elusive player playing in the halfback spot for South Sydney now. Walters charging straight ahead. Got it away to Pittard. Pittard out to Lyle. Lyle to Coote. Coote tackled, slipped partially as Stanton moved in on him. Lyle, the blind side. Fights his way another 5 yards nearer the Manly line. Back to Sims. Sims tries for a drop. It's unsuccessful. Eric Sims having one of his very rare days off with his kicking. 19 points to 4, Manly Warringah lead. Ward restarts from the 25. Got it away to Bradstreet, a good move, gained 10 yards. Jones to Day. Day gets through the tackle, got the pass away, it's been dropped. And a double knock on. Line umpire in at the moment. Let's see who's going to be called out here. Pounder for Manly Warringah. Being cautioned by Mr. Pearce, and it's a penalty to South Sydney. Eric Sims got no angle at all to kick for there. He was only about 3 yards in from the sideline, but it's not a bad kick under the circumstances. Play 24 yards out from Manly's line. Let's see what South Sydney can do now. Using the blind side to Moses. Moses breaks one tackle, got the pass away to Coote, and Coote slammed to the ground there. Moses running from dummy half. He's been pushed backwards. Play only 3 yards out from Manly's line. Coote runs, and tackled about a foot short of the line. Referee indicates that he lost the ball. Close work. South Sydney really throwing everything into the last few minutes of football. About 9 minutes gone in the second half. And it's another penalty to South Sydney, and it's against Dennis Ward. Bill Kerr, would you let me know the scrum and penalty statistics to date?
Well, South Sydney have gone ahead in the scrums and now lead 5-4. The penalties favour Manly by 9-6.
Well, Sims is not going to kick for goal. He's going to kick for touch. Gets the ball into touch now. Walters will restart play. Manly have to retire to the goal line. And up they come. And Sattler and Walters had a misunderstanding there. And Walters went right over the top of Sattler. Pittard. Out to Norgard. Norgard fights his way through, but still 10 yards out from Manly's line. South Sydney throwing everything into it in this few seconds. Back to Sims. Sims a little bit indecisive there. Got it away to Brannigan. Brannigan caught, can't get a pass away as Tennant comes in and smashes him to the ground with a head-high tackle. Lyle to Sims. Sims trying for a drop. It's unsuccessful. Away to the left, taken by McLean. McLean up the sideline now, runs straight into the defence, doesn't attempt to beat anybody, just straight into James. Ward, Batty, Bradstreet, nearly through the middle, takes play 3 yards from the 25. Jones, away to Hamilton. Hamilton charging ahead once again, performing yeoman work for the Manly side. Jones, Batty, the high towering punt. This one's going to put Sims under pressure. Over his head, touches one hand, Morgan's up there. Sims caught 20 yards out from his line, put to the ground, Hannigan in there too. Manly pouring through on Eric Sims, having one of the few off days that I remember Eric Sims having this year. Norgard from the 25 gets up kicking, his legs still in the air. I think he's got cramps in both legs, he can't move. Both legs have gone in cramps. You can see them kicking in the air there. He couldn't get to his feet. 19 points to 4. Manly Warringah leading South Sydney, and of course Norgard, when he recovers from the cramp, will be allowed to restart play. Norgard okay now, still flexing his legs. The referee waits for the ambulance man to get off the field, and we've got the play back now to Sims, who kicks upfield. McLean catches it, drops it behind him, no knock on. He's limping slightly. And runs straight into James and gets knocked over hard. To Hamilton. Well, Hamilton really doing some magnificent work for the Manly side today, straightening up their defence. The line umpire in at the moment. Pounder goes up the sideline. This could be a penalty. Let's see what the referee does. He's waiting for play to stop. Fulton kicks high in the air. We've got the line umpire on the field. Sims under a lot of pressure. Stanton takes him. Morgan takes him. Tennant rather. And he's caught in possession, but that was good work from Eric Sims to catch that one under such close marking. Now let's see how this penalty goes. It looks like Norgard. No, Sate being penalised for South Sydney. So Batty from directly in the middle of the field and 37 yards out from the South Sydney line will attempt another goal. Batty. Misses from directly in front. The ball goes over the dead ball line. Scores remain 19-4 in Manly's favour. And 14 minutes of the second half have gone. Rubber type drop kick from Sims to Batty. Batty ducks under one tackle. Manly on the move now. And the white shorts out to Day. Day got it to Fulton. Fulton dropped it. South Sydney in possession. Walters got the pass away to Sattler. Sattler breaks one tackle, breaks two, coming in for some heavy work there as he made that 10-yard gain. Norgard. Moses. Coote in the clear, running beautifully. Have his legs taken away as he got the pass away. And the ball over the sideline. That was a fine low diving tackle there to snap Ron Coote's legs away from underneath him. Indecisive scrum. Referee Mr. Pearce wants that one in again. And another penalty to South Sydney. Let's see what this one's for. I think there's been a remark passed here and Dennis Ward being asked to retrieve the ball and put it back on the mark. I believe that one was against Fred Jones, the hooker. Good kick. 8 yards now from Manly's line. Moses touches the ball, goes in his own, tackled 2 yards short of the line. Oh, and Manly, some of their players looking dangerously close to being offside there. South Sydney used up 2 tackles now, only a couple of yards from the line. Moses, away to Pittard. Pittard runs through. Oh, right through! Right through the Manly defence to score a brilliant individual try. A fine bit of footwork by Dennis Pittard to take the score to 19-7 in Manly's favour. Eric Sims now. 10 yards in from the sideline, 28 yards out. Unsuccessful, 19-7, Manly lead. Kick-off taken by Sims. Pass to James is dropped behind him, picked up by Pittard, who gets to the South Sydney 25. Sate out to Moses, then to Coote. Coote with that spring heel action of his, a good gain. Moses running ahead, runs into Hamilton. Sattler through the dummy, ran the blind side. And the fourth tackle. Walters leading in the scrums at the moment by the odd scrum, 5-4. Referee wants that one again as both packs collapse on top of each other. Ball came out the Manly side. It's being a penalty to South Sydney. I think it's against Pittard for failing to retire behind his scrum. So Manly now on the halfway line. Batty's kick to the 25. Jones to Hamilton. Hamilton on to Pounder. Pounder for a lightweight forward runs with tremendous enthusiasm. On to Morgan. Morgan steps, beats one tackle. Still going. Got a one-handed pass away to Bradstreet. Bradstreet loses the ball as he gets into the clear. Picked up by Coote. And Coote in possession for South Sydney. 15 yards out from South's line. Morgan. Jim Morgan, that is. The South Sydney front row forward. Well taken by his opposite number, Johnny Morgan. To Sattler. Sattler breaks one tackle, gets outside the 25. Both Manly wings standing deep, but South are going to run the ball. Norgard. Got a pass away to Moses standing wide, and Moses has been knocked over on the fourth tackle. Moses is standing very wide for South Sydney. As a second row forward, he's frequently out in the outside centre position. Manly ball, Fulton, the skipper, drops it. Moses being cautioned then for giving Fulton a whack on the head, but play will proceed. The referee didn't feel that that was important enough to administer a penalty. Manly ball. Ward breaks one tackle, accelerating beautifully. Ran slightly crossfield, couldn't straighten his backs up. Bradstreet, Hamilton, out to Tennant. Tennant showing a clean pair of heels here has taken play inside South Sydney's 25. Bradstreet, Hamilton, out to Fulton. Fulton weaving his way back infield. Got a pass away to Day, who can't handle it. Offside. I thought there was going to be shepherding called there too, but the referee is going to put down a scrum. (19-7), and the crowd less than I expected. 49,125. Pittard running crossfield and taken well by Fulton and put down. Scruffing sort of a tackle, but he's put down on the 25. Norgard for South Sydney, away to Sattler, who's got through a lot of work today for South Sydney. Away to Moses. Moses evades Hamilton's tackle, goes up the sideline, got a pass back inside to Morgan. Morgan does a kick through, it's rolling back into Manly territory. Hannigan's there to pick it up for Manly, gets to Moses, well tackled. All the players looking rather tired at the moment. Away to Ward. Ward throws the dummy, accelerates his way right through the middle of the South Sydney lineup. A good gain. And we've got a South Sydney player down injured at the moment. Bit hard to see who it is, but the scores at this stage are 19-7 in favour of Manly Warringah. From the restart of play, Manly still in possession on the fourth tackle. Jones got it away to Batty. Batty elects to kick upfield. Oh, it's a splendid kick. Deep in South Sydney's territory. Using the breeze very well. I must say this is a below par performance from the South Sydney side. They haven't been able to get their three-quarter line moving to any great extent. They've shared possession, and many people thought that if they received equal possession that they would run over this Manly side. A penalty to Manly Warringah. 20 yards out and 10 yards in from the sideline. But he's taken it just out beyond the 25. Already kicked 4 goals today. Not happy with the way the ball's on the mound. The referee, Mr. Pearce, indicates time off. But he appeared to kick the ground then, but it's okay, and Manly go further ahead, 21 points to 7. Pittard kicks off for South Sydney. Taken by Tennant, tackled by Pittard. Jones for Manly to dummy half out today. Day a big sidestep, can't break the South Sydney defence. Hamilton, nice pass to Morgan. Morgan got it away to Bradstreet, back inside with a flick pass to Michael McLean, the wing, who plays it. Morgan. Ward, a little left kick through, not a very good one. Manages to lose possession for Manly there. Brannigan in possession for South Sydney. Lyle to dummy half, got it away to Norgard. Norgard already played through the South Sydney reserve grade game, replacing Ivan Jones. Eric Sims, a kick through. It's a nice kick, well judged. Batty feels it and is tackled by Sims and put to the ground heavily. But a player lying down on the halfway line, a South Sydney player, hasn't moved. But back to the action now with Jones in possession. Could be Jim Morgan. We'll wait and see who that injured South Sydney player is. Crowd roaring for the referee to stop play, but and booing. Day charging straight ahead. South Sydney in possession. Lyle through the dummy. Goes up the sideline, finally pushed into touch. The referee sees the injured player and asks for the ambulance man to come on, and also Kenny Day is down receiving attention to his right knee, and in a lot of pain is Ken Day. 21 points to 7. Manly Warringah leading South Sydney. Well, Ken Day has been forced to leave the field for Manly. He's receiving attention on the sideline. Morgan is to his feet, the South Sydney prop. He was lying stiff and prone there for quite a while. Must have sustained a heavy knock to the head, so Manly playing a man short at the moment. Ken Day being from the field. Good clean South Sydney heel. And comes in from the wing between the 5'8" and centre, but he's put to the ground unceremoniously by Fulton. Moses running from dummy half. He's gone right through the line, and oh, it's a try to South Sydney beside the post as Moses was able to get the pass on to Sattler. As Moses was able to get the pass on to Pittard backing up, and he scored adjacent to the post, putting a different complexion on this game completely. That makes it 21-10 with a gift kick to follow. South Sydney with 12 minutes remaining are coming back very strongly. And the kick at goal is successful. 21 points to 12. Manly Warringah lead. Day still receiving attention on the sideline. The crowd starting to roar for South Sydney now. "11 minutes remaining. Batty kicks off, it goes to Moses. Moses on his 25, and a lot of damage for the South Sydney side today with his running. Sattler fires it away. Sate. Tackled 10 yards outside his 25. Sattler, a good long pass out to Morgan. Morgan got it away to Coote. Coote through one, tackle through two. Got the pass away, but it's over the sideline, and a scrum will restart play. Possession going to be of critical importance to both sides. We've got a Manly player down injured at the moment. I think it may be McLean, the Manly right wing, who's receiving attention at the moment. He's getting attention from the ambulance man. Bill Kerr, the scrums and penalties so far, please.
South Sydney have regained a slight lead in the scrum, 7-6. The penalties still favour Manly by 12-7.
Right, well, I notice Ken Day's on his feet on the sideline now, and it's a Manly ball from that scrum. Dennis Ward running around the open side. Day rather tentatively flexing his knee. Whether he'll resume his place on the field, nobody knows. Morgan standing up on the tackle there as Moses comes into him. These two have been having a chop at each other all day long. Out to Bradstreet. Bradstreet tries to duck under one tackle. Back to Hamilton. And there's a penalty against South Sydney for infringing the 5 yards in the ruck. I think that was directed at Moses. And Batty now will take this kick from 11 yards from the halfway line. Manly still playing a man short as Ken Day on the sideline receiving attention still. Batty's kicking been very good today. 5 goals. Gets that one high in the air. Unsuccessful, taken well by Sims. Switches the play back to Moses. Moses got the pass away to James. James is up the sideline. McLean's coming across to get him. The kick ahead taken on the full by... No, taken on the bounce there by Manly. There was a bad misunderstanding between Hannigan and Ward, but Manly in possession in their 25. Morgan fires it to Pounder up the blind side. Runs strong and hard for 5 yards. Jones away to Bradstreet. Bradstreet had a good game today for the Manly side. Another Manly player down, injured at the moment. About 8.5 minutes remaining. It's Batty who's down. No, it's Ward who's down injured at the moment. The kick from Batty. On the bounce to Eric Sims, just outside his 25. Can't evade the tackle of Frank Stanton, who moves in and puts him down. Lyle, taken well by Fulton and Tennant. Honan, a long pass from Pittard, out to Brannigan. Brannigan runs around, gets the pass to James. James up the middle, doing the better. Got it to Moses. Moses knocks the ball forward. Moses looking for a fight here with Tennant and forgetting to chase the ball. I mentioned earlier Moses would be an infinitely better footballer for South Sydney if he'd just concentrate on playing football. Back to Hamilton, one of the Manly stalwarts in today's game. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Jones to Batty. Batty with that relieving kick once again goes straight to Brian James, standing just outside his 25. Weaves and slips as he comes to the defence in the shape of Alec Tennant. 21 points to 12, Manly leading. A bad pass from South Sydney, who are getting a bit sloppy in their passing in the last few minutes. Coote breaks one tackle, got it away to Pittard. Pittard to Moses. Moses back to Sims. Sims then to Norgard. Norgard to Brannigan. A beautifully timed pass to Lyle. But Honan outside, the pass is not a good one, goes over the sideline and the crowd roar for nothing. Both teams feeling the strain of a game that's been played at a very fast tempo. Just under 7 minutes remaining. South Sydney ball. Lyle can't get round Stanton, puts him down well. Manly still playing a man short. Sattler for South Sydney. Fights his way to his feet. To Pittard, to Coote. Coote showing a great anxiousness to run today. Gets the pass to Norgard. Norgard tackled 7 yards from Manly's 25. Walters running from dummy half. Got a loose pass away. It's fallen on by Manly. The referee's call for the knock on there, claiming that Morgan knocked the ball on. And this scrum will go down 20 yards out from Manly's goal line. All the Manly three-quarter line standing up very, very flat. They're virtually conceding possession now to South Sydney. Being a man short on the scrum, they're not getting the ball. Sate running from dummy half makes a 5-yard gain, and once again that blind side a little bit vulnerable for Manly. On to Moses. Moses tackled 10 yards out from Manly's line, working their way towards the goalposts. Walters to Sattler. Sattler got the pass over there, and South Sydney are in for the try. Jimmy Morgan, the big South Sydney prop forward, who accepted the pass from Sattler, and South Sydney have come back with a vengeance in this last 20 minutes, or more particularly the last 10 minutes. Since Ken Day left the field for Manly, they've had 2 tries scored against them. Good work then by Sattler, the South Sydney team captain. Fought his way through the tackle, kept his arms free, and as he came to the line, he slipped a one-handed pass to Morgan, who went over to score about 10 yards in from the corner. Sims kick unsuccessful, having a miserable day with his goal kicking as Eric Sims, so the scores remain 21-15 in Manly's favour, and 4 minutes remaining. A lot of credit to South Sydney for this big fight back. Manly were leading 19-4 at half-time. South have scored 3 tries in the second half. And Ken Day is limping around on the sideline now, asking to go back on the field, I think. To come back as a nuisance value. He's got his knee very heavily strapped. Sims, way to James. James can't get past Fulton's good diving tackle. Day can't take any part in the play until he's notified the referee that he's on the field. South Sydney flying now. A forward pass there. Penalty to Manly Warringah. The pass from Moses on to Coote was quite definitely forward. And the referee has awarded a penalty to Manly on the South Sydney 25. Day has come off once again. I don't know whether Fulton has sent him from the field or whether he's decided after running on that he can't handle it. He came back on the field for a minute and has gone off again. With 3 minutes remaining, Manly should be safe. Batty from 1 yard outside the 25. That's 7 yards in from the sideline. The breeze blowing slightly across the line of his kick. And it's successful. So Manly go to a 23-15 lead. And time run out for South Sydney. About 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Well, Batty's assumed the role of Eric Sims for the Manly side today. His kicking has been very, very sound. Bill Kirk, can you tell me how many kicks at goal he's had?
Yes, he's kicked 6 goals from 10 attempts.
Well, a very sound performance. Whereas Eric Sims has kicked how many?
Eric Sims has kicked 3 from 6 attempts, although one was almost right in front.
Well, about the same percentage ratio, but Manly in possession on their own side of halfway. Back to Fulton. Fulton been a little quiet in general play today. Been defending admirably, but by no means running as freely as many people thought he would in today's game. The close marking from both sides has been quite good in the 3 quarters. South Sydney ball. Coote, the lock, picks it up at the base of the scrum and runs the blind side. About a minute and a half remaining. 23-15 Manly lead. Moses fights his way forward. 10 yards inside Manly's half. Across to Walters. Walters a little bit far away from the support then to throw the pass. 4th tackle. Sims onto Pittard. Pittard kicks through. Taken well by Batty. Batty can't evade Pittard's tackle on the Manly 25. Tennant went to dummy half. Licks to run. A gain of 7 yards. The hoot is gone. And Manly have won their semi-final and by so doing moved into the grand final. The final next week will be a contest between St George and South Sydney. Manly have won 23-15 in front of 49,128 people at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The try scorers for Manly were Alec Tennant, Les Hannigan and Bill Hamilton. A field goal to Dennis Ward. 5 penalty goals to Bob Batty and a goal for South Sydney, 2 tries to Dennis Pittard, a try to Jim Morgan, and I believe 3 goals to Eric Sim.